Okay. I will
Say opening prayer.
be the host ish, but I'm gonna need lots of help because I don't really know. Okay. Shut your light off. Jeez.
Oh.
Ooh. Welcome to the American Fork Podcast. We're in 6,000-foot studios right now.
Unlimited Foot Studios.
Infinitely high foot studios. We usually are recording from our studio in the city, and today we are recording from, where are we at? Little Grand Canyon in Utah.
Yep.
Just Jake and I doing the Broken Back Mountain thing. And,
Wait, what?
Wait, what? Who's listening to this? We invited everyone to come, but everyone had other things to do. So we're going to try and record a podcast from the wilderness without getting eaten by bears and beavers. So,
yeah, beavers. They're prolific here.
shockingly, because it's very desert-esque here through this canyon, but there's trees all over the place being chewed up by beavers.
Yep. Yeah, it's like it's almost red rocks. They are, but it's not like southern Utah. It's like almost southern Utah red rocks.
It's like reddish rocks.
Yeah, reddish rocks.
It's awesome though. I can understand why it's Little Grand Canyon. I've 1,000-foot cliffs probably around us, and
Little tiny river.
San Rafael. It's been awesome. So thanks for joining us on our outdoor adventure. Chip's here too. Chip's Jake's dog.
If you hear a dog in the background, it's because you're not hearing. Your hearing is not bad.
And it probably won't bark, just like lick the microphone probably, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's hanging out by us.
Well, we are a podcast that comes together to fix America. And as our friends have said, around a campfire would be incredible. So here we are. No campfire, just a camp. But yeah, let's get started. We've got some news stories, Jake.
We do.
I'm going to need your help because honestly, I didn't read this when we had internet access, and now we have no internet,
Yeah.
and I don't really know the stories.
Yeah, usually the person hosting selects the news stories, but there were several that came up throughout the last couple weeks, and I just thought, oh, that'd be interesting to talk about. So
Yeah.
I added them to our shared document.
And I seriously have no idea on what these are, some of them. So the first one says Jake's hat trick.
Yeah, what?
It actually says Jake's hat truck,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure you meant trick.
Yeah, hat trick is what I intended to. What do you think that would be? So what am I known for when I host?
Oh, the Frankums.
Uh,
Or murder.
Close.
Homicide. Oh, wait, that's the same thing.
I wish we had internet access.
Mm-hmm.
It's been over a week since I added this, but there was, if I remember correctly, another fire.
Oh gosh.
In American Fork.
Jeez. These aren't like stories that are coming back up. Like the same story just resurfaced.
No, it was a new fire. Was it? It was the explosion. So the authorities, the police department and fire department, Unified Fire Authority in American Fork, detonated some old, like really, really old dynamite in someone's house.
Wait. You're not talking about the one in Mill Creek, are you?
Was it Mill Creek?
Yeah. I think you're mixed up.
Well, oh no, it was Holladay.
Because I know about that.
That one was in Holladay.
Yes.
And that's my Utah story. An explosive Holladay was the.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cute.
That's what it was.
I like that.
But it was spelled like the city.
Like the city Holladay.
Holladay. So I don't remember what the hat trick was.
I mean, I'm sure it's a fire or a murder.
Yeah, because I call it the hat trick. In hockey, a hat trick is when one player scores 3 goals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so this would be my hat trick because it would be at least the third time I would have shared something about a fire. But it was a fire in American Fork, I swear.
I'm sure it was. It'll come back to you. I have a feeling.
or something that had to do with someone with the last name Frankham, but I don't think that's it.
That's funny. Oh well, we don't have internet.
Interesting though. So I so our American Fork Podcast Instagram
Hmm.
follows a lot of the people and the companies that we talked about. And by the way, side note tangent: this episode is brought to you by Peak Refuel.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No,
Because I just ate a Peak
that's
Refuel.
not how That's not how advertising works.
But
though.
but yeah, it helped me. It fueled my ability to do the podcast. It was brought.
Well, in
That's
that
not how it
case,
works.
this episode is brought to you by two Crunchwrap
Also,
Supremes.
Mountain House and Taco Bell. I had the chicken coconut curry, and it was really
from
good.
Peak Refuel.
From Peak
Yeah,
Refuel.
I got
Yeah.
rid of a Mountain House because I didn't want to look at it anymore.
You
It was
didn't-
mid.
It was mid. Yeah.
Yes. So what were you saying that
So
Instagram?
our Instagram account
Mhm.
follows a lot of the people that we talk about on the
Mhm.
show. And Ellie Marie Frankham, who
Uh-huh.
was the girl from American Fork,
Yeah.
who was on American Idol just recently, she was doing an Instagram live. So I jumped on
Oh,
and
that's
watched
funny.
her. She was talking to her fans and, interacting with them. And I sent a message on there. I was like, we want you on the American Fork podcast. And she's like, oh, send me a DM or an email. And
Uh-huh.
I was like, I did send you a DM. You haven't replied to it. And her email that she had on her account was spelled wrong. So I let her know that. And it was like, anyway, I ended up getting the right email and sending her an email. So I'm hoping that she can respond to it. But she seemed like she would be open to
Being on a podcast.
Being on the podcast.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I thought the story was going that you were just telling us that you're stalking a 21-year-old.
Kind of. No. No. It was fun to have dialogue with someone from American Fork who's in the public eye.
Yeah, who's doing cool
Yeah.
stuff like
and
that.
And we'd love to have her on the show because she's from American Fork.
It would be cool,
American Fork's
actually. I
awesome.
would love to talk to someone about the process that the performers go through.
Yeah.
And like the BS, and not that I want her to trash talk it or anything, but like I'm sure they go through some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So that would be very
Yeah,
fun to
that's
talk about.
one reason why I would like to have her on, because it's a big show. So,
Oh yeah, that'd
It's a
be
big deal.
super cool.
but my hat trick, there was a fire or an explosion or something that I tend to always bring up in
Yeah.
American Fork, and I don't remember what it was because I don't have internet connection. So,
So then you're gonna have to guess the next story then. which
okay,
says
I'll guess the
Provo
next one.
is American AF.
Yeah, Provo is American AF, and that one I remember.
Yeah, okay.
American Airlines has announced that they're going to be flying out of Provo Airport.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
two destinations, I think Phoenix and Dallas or something like that.
Oh,
Remember
okay.
right?
So just a very simple.
Yeah, short flights.
Yeah.
But Provo's they've put a lot of money into it and they've revamped it quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's the second busiest airport in Utah, which isn't saying a lot. It's not like we have a ton of,
Yeah.
but we have airports down south, and
Well, yeah,
Heber's got
St.
an
George
airport
and stuff.
yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So that's cool. American Airlines is probably the biggest one that flies out there now.
Yeah.
Phil loves Breeze and whatever so much that they're like the scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to airlines. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he flies bottom of the barrel airlines, actually.
yeah,
Bob
that's the name.
Airlines.
Bob
He likes it because they make him pay to wear shoes.
takes
on
the
there.
Bob line to Vegas.
Jeez. Well, that's cool. Yeah. And I heard I heard it from you guys. You guys said Provo's great to fly out of. It's
Yeah.
so simple and easy and cool. I love it.
Yep.
So I
Go
hate
Provo.
certain airports, but I've never been out of Provo. So are there certain airports that you will avoid if you travel?
No, although we tend to, when we fly to New York a lot because Stacy's from New York,
Uh-huh.
and we usually fly into the city, which I don't know why we do that, because there's a Westchester Airport, which is half the distance to where her family lives in Poughkeepsie,
Uh-huh.
and we for some reason always fly into LaGuardia or JFK Airport,
Yeah.
and it's just so freaking busy.
I absolutely, and my wife, whenever she flies, she will avoid Atlanta like the plague because she hates that airport. And I understand. I only went through there
Yeah.
one time and it was a joke.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah.
Is that
And
the
it's
one that has like
confusing too.
the tram that's like
Yeah.
8 miles long?
Yeah. One time I thought, oh, I'm only 3 gates away or something like that. I'm like, I'm just going to walk as fast as I can to try and get to there because I basically missed my flight already. I'm like, I'm just going to see what I can do if I can get there, whatever. It took me like 20 minutes to walk one terminal or gate
Jeez.
or whatever. I think it was terminal, but
Uh-huh.
it was only 2 or 3 terminals away. And I'm like, I should
I
be able
could
to
do it.
walk that.
Yeah, it's just 2 terminals.
No, I walked one terminal and I was like, I need to
I
get there
need to.
today.
I'm gonna leave. Go get a taxi. Take me
Yeah,
to the last terminal.
I'm gonna get a hotel in between here.
Like the Salt Lake one is now like that with the tunnel underneath.
Yeah, but that's temporary
Yeah, they're gonna
until
be
they
building
finish. It'll be
another gate,
better.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be better. I guess what I'm saying is the main terminals will be closer. I think that one will still be a legitimate terminal, but
Yeah.
uh, every flight goes out that way right now, and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah. There was a April Fool's joke. I think it was the airport that tweeted or sent an Instagram April Fool's thing out that said the Salt Lake Airport has announced that they're going to start having a water taxi in the tunnel underneath
Oh, you need a
to get
water
you.
taxi?
Yeah, to get you. They're going to fill it with water, and you can travel via water taxi underneath the tunnel.
I don't understand what a water taxi is.
It's like a little boat that you ride on instead of walking the whole way.
Oh, okay.
You'd ride a boat
Okay, great.
floating on the water that's under the tunnel.
Like that would be funny. Like a Italian. What are those called?
Oh, one of those a gondola.
A gondola. Yeah.
A guy in a
Yeah.
striped shirt singing
Yeah.
in his
Yeah.
opera song.
That sounds good. I saw there's an Instagram or Facebook or I don't know what social media thing I saw it on, but there's a guy that is in Utah and he rollerblades like everywhere. And
Uh-huh.
he's pretty fast and awesome. When I say everywhere, I mean like I've seen
That's
him
his
going
way,
down.
his mode of transportation.
Yeah, it seems that way. I've seen him doing rollerblading in Utah, like down Sandy, like in Sandy, down canyon type roads,
Mm-hmm.
down pedestrian, urban and suburban type roads in Utah. And he went through the tunnel really fast. And it was cool actually, because that would be a great place to rollerblade.
At the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he strapped on his rollerblades at one end and rollerbladed across that whole thing.
That's funny.
But he's also does rollerblading in like New York and in big cities. So it's like, anyway, it's kind of cool. But I don't know why I brought that up. Oh, because he rollerbladed through
the tunnel. Yeah.
and I think that would be fun actually. I wonder if they just let you bring rollerblades into the airport. I mean,
I imagine
God,
so.
you'd get around fast.
Yeah. They've got luggage that you can ride now.
Oh yeah,
Sit on it and a little handle pops up and
motorized.
it's battery powered. Yeah.
Dude, I was just thinking about this the other day because we're sidetracking already.
This is the Tangent Podcast.
I'm positive that it's easier to get around now than it was when we were teenagers. Like we had two options: bike and walk.
Yeah. Or if we're cool, we had a scooter with the big wheels. You know, those neon colored scooters.
I kind of consider that bike.
Yeah.
But
2 wheels or feet.
But nowadays, even like through high school and everything, and I was thinking about this too. I'm like, we were like really good friends with people
Who had cars.
but like if we didn't have friends like that, how would we have gotten around?
We hitched rides a lot.
We hitched rides all the time. But what I'm getting at is like, if my kids want to go somewhere right now, like I drive them everywhere. My parents never drove me anywhere. I'll drive them wherever they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
They could take an Uber. I have them signed up for like Uber Teen. Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
They could take an Uber wherever they want to go. The bus system in Salt Lake is amazing. You can go all over the place with the bus.
Yeah, now they got the tracks that go out west towards where you are.
Yeah. You can jump on a train
and that takes you to central town and
you can go all the way to BYU if you wanted. You go all the way to Ogden.
U of U.
It's crazy.
Yeah, my kids they want to get a ride like 7 houses down. Can you take me to Porter's house, Dad? He lives up the hill. 2 neighborhoods, 2 blocks away.
I'd be like, take your Chevrolets. Was
Right.
that your dog or was that an animal?
That was Chip.
Okay. Sorry, people. We just heard Chip yawning, basically, and I thought for sure it was a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Because they do have T-Rexes here. There was a dinosaur museum in
Yeah.
Price.
It was a museum ran by dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
It was like a zoo. It was dinosaurs in cages.
That's funny. Okay, well, I guess we can put ourselves back on track here.
Oh yeah, what were we talking about?
I don't even know. Oh,
An explosive holiday. Yeah, Provo Airport.
Yeah.
American Airlines is flying out of there now.
Yeah. Okay, an explosive holiday, dude. I woke up that morning and I started driving to work, and I drive from the west side of Salt Lake to the east side of Salt Lake to do that, and I could see a pillar of smoke. And that's not too uncommon. If there's a car fire, house fire, anything basically that catches fire, I can see the whole valley from where I'm coming from. But this one was a little different because I could tell it had been burning for a long time, and the smoke was kind of covering the valley. I was like, okay, this was actually pretty big. And every time I do that, I turn on the news and the radio. Like when I see pillars of smoke like that,
you're like, oh,
I'll turn on the
definitely
news
something on the
thinking
news.
maybe they'll say, oh, vehicle fire or blah 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 blah. But 90% of the time they don't say anything about what that fire is, right? This time they did. And what was it, Jakey?
It was dynamite inside someone's basement, or at least in their house. I don't know if it was in their basement. What I had pictured it to be was some guy in his 40s lives in his parents' basement, collects old relics, and dynamite was one of those things that he had. That's what I pictured. I don't know much about his background, but
what I imagined was these people bought the house and they started remodeling it. But see, I'm in the construction world, so like that's just what I think of. I'm thinking these guys started remodeling. They tore down a wall and they found a cold storage behind a wall or something and found a box of dynamite or boxes or something. I don't know. I really want to look into that story a little bit further, because the thing that blew my mind is dynamite is very volatile, as you know.
Yeah.
And the problem is that it can if you move it, it can explode when it gets to a certain stage.
Oh yeah.
So United or Unified or whoever the fire department was decided, hey, we're gonna blow it up in place. So that's what they did, ladies and gentlemen, listening to this podcast. They literally blew up a house with dynamite and leveled it. That house is completely demolished at this point.
They evacuated the neighborhood.
Yep.
And they filmed it while they were doing it, and they had they had their truck sitting across the street, kitty corner from the house, and one guy had the little thing in his hand with the wire running all the way to the house, and he's like, pull, just the whole, yeah, like this,
like
push
a big
the thing.
TNT, Yosemite Sam, Wile E. Coyote,
and it just massive explosion, and then the house started on fire. So they hurried and
well, they had
extinguished it.
They had the fire department staged ready for that, I think.
Yeah. Obviously they anticipated that.
I think they already had their hoses hooked up to everything and they were ready to go. But there's two things that I saw after that. One, neighbors had damage to their houses, whether it was burning embers hitting their roof or broken windows. I don't know
the roof of the exploding house hitting their roof.
Yeah. Or who knows.
Or some old lady.
They were like, what do we do? Like, do we file an insurance claim?
Right.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then I saw a news report later, like a few days after the explosion, and apparently the lady it was her house that exploded was kind of like, I'm kind of just left in the dust. I don't even know what to do. She doesn't have a place to live now.
There was no contingency plan. Like the state didn't, like their city didn't buy her like hotel for a week, or
I don't know, because the way that I'm understanding this story is they came to that place at like 4:00 in the morning that day.
Yeah, it was still dark, but it was early in the morning.
No.
Or
they came
homeowners
early in the morning and they blew it up the next night, basically. Like they were figuring out what to do for quite some time. and it wasn't like a real quick decision, But I think that basically they milled over it and they were like, listen, this dynamite just being here is a threat to this neighborhood. Like, we can't just leave
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? So we need to do something with it now. And
We
the
got to
first thing
evacuate and take care of it.
we got to get rid of it we got to control it before it controls the situation. So yeah, I don't know what's supposed to happen. I mean, I've had an insurance claim on my home before, and the term that the insurance person used was a sudden loss of property was what qualified for insurance.
Uh-huh.
Because I told her, I'm like, listen, I don't have flood insurance because I had a faucet leak. And she's like, that's okay. You don't need flood insurance. You have a sudden loss of property. It's like, oh,
So that's one of the items you can select in your coverage.
something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would say that dynamite being detonated
Blowing
in
up your house is
blowing up your
probably
house,
sudden loss of.
sudden loss of property. Yeah, it's pretty.
I think suddenly, yeah, she lost it. Yep, it was her property. Yep,
Yep, done.
qualifies. Yeah,
Oh,
that's crazy. So, yeah, obviously, so I added this story to our list when it was still had just happened, and I haven't heard any follow up, and we don't have internet, so we can't connect to figure out what
yeah.
the whole story is. But
I'm
yeah.
very interested to go home and figure it out though, because seems very wacky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They didn't say anything about. I mean, everyone's left wondering. Like my story and your story are completely different. Like
Yeah.
why was there this old dynamite inside of a house?
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's not the first time I've heard of a house being remodeled though and finding dynamite. There was a house in Park City, the same thing happened.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Which makes a little more sense because at least
Park City's a mining town.
town.
Yeah, and I'm sure that there may have been somebody who worked at a mine and was like, I'm gonna take these extra sticks home.
I mean, it's just like you taking some paper clips home,
Yeah.
Cares. But
I'm a little more dangerous, but
oh, really?
it's little different.
Speaking of dangerous, I don't think it's actually dangerous, but
Pointing lasers in the sky at airplanes, that's dangerous.
Oh yeah, that's dangerous. But the sun has been going down for a while, but it's still kind of looming some light. But the stars are coming out here, and it is already pretty awesome.
Yeah, the sky's pretty light. You can, like you said, you can see it a little bit of sun on the horizon, but you can already see more stars than you can when you're at home.
Oh yeah, and there's the Big Dipper. He's sitting in that chair next to a dog.
And then the North Star is
that one, right?
That
there.
One? Or,
no.
Oh, it goes this
that
way.
One. Yeah.
It's from the bucket. Yeah.
Yeah.
North Star.
So all you listeners, there's the North Star.
There it is. Can you see it? We're shining my laser on it. If you look in the sky right now, because this is live,
yeah,
you'll see it.
Caller one.
Oh, the lines are open.
Yeah, what a beautiful world we live in. Jake and I were talking on the way here that it's so cool to see just open spaces and wide open stuff. It just really puts life in perspective. And if you are feeling overwhelmed or I don't know, like there's just too much, I highly recommend you get out into the wilderness somehow, some way. It doesn't matter where. We're in the desert now, but you can go up into the mountains or just go for a ride even. It's amazing.
If you want to feel humbled and small, go outside.
And if you think your problems are so big, go outside. See, look at something bigger than your problems. That's crazy. What's next, Jakey?
Oh, world news. Well, nationwide news.
Oh.
So, happening? I wish I remembered what this was.
Good move by Biden admin.
Yeah, the Biden administration made a good move, but I don't remember what it was.
It's a link to Instagram.
Yeah, there was an Instagram post. Trying to figure out what it was. This is fun
Was it him trying to figure out getting off stage?
Good move, Biden administration. They made him look competent.
Oh.
No, it was something. There was something
I thought you were serious.
No, there was something that they did. I can't remember if it was um, Israel or something. Anyway, be cool to remember.
Yeah, we don't need to.
No.
Here, let's make up a story.
But just for the sake of, in case everybody thinks everything we talk about with politics is anti-Biden,
Uh-huh.
I recognized he did something good, but I don't remember it.
Oh, I thought you were being sarcastic here.
No,
Okay.
it was something that I was like,
actually
yeah, it was a
something
post on Instagram, and I was like, oh, I'm glad he did that,
good. Okay,
but I
cool.
don't remember what.
I don't know what it was though.
Dang it! Shoot. I mean, this literally was like, it was probably a week and a half ago. I put this article and then forgot about it.
Yeah. This is fun, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Chip, why don't you contribute to the show?
Right? Speak.
You don't care. All right. Cool.
And I think that was all the articles I had.
Okay. Well, does that mean it's the main topic now?
Unless there's something else in the news you wanted to.
Let me think about that. Did I even watch the news the last 2 weeks, dude? I hate the news.
We passed a new bill that was like $8 billion to Ukraine.
Are you kidding me?
Or was it Israel? Israel or
It doesn't really
Ukraine?
matter. It's supporting war.
Yeah, we're another massive bill, and it was Ukraine because after they passed the bill, they had the vote in the House, in Congress, and like a bunch of the Congress people, legislators, in Washington were waving Ukrainian flags.
Wow, pretty cool.
On the House floor. It's insane to me that they would be so like
celebratory of war.
It's just crazy. Yeah, we're helping Ukraine. It's just crazy how much so many people think that because Putin is bad, we are all about Ukraine.
Yeah,
and Ukraine is not corrupt. Ukraine is great. We got to support them. But it's also interesting how, and I've been guilty of this myself. But it's interesting how when the president is a Republican, if there's a war that we're involved in, then the Republicans are all about it. And then if it's a Democrat and we're involved in a war, then the Democrats are all about it. It's just crazy how much we get blinded by the party.
Yeah. It's saw my first shooting star for the night.
Oh, nice. You can go to bed now.
What should I wish for? I don't know. I wish
that Chip would sleep warm tonight.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Good sleep for Chip. Well, I don't like that we support the war like that. I mean, I understand that something needs to be done potentially, but just sending over $8 billion, maybe not. Hey, that's cool. Jake's pointing the laser at the river, and it's like reflecting on the cliffs.
Yeah, there's it looks like a flame burning right in front of the cliff. It's like
anyone looking at that right now that doesn't know we're here thinks it's aliens for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
it's a green laser.
It's a green laser. That's cool.
There's also the protests, the pro-Palestine protests going on at all these universities.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got started at Columbia, and then some other big Ivy League schools started getting the protests. Basically, and it's related to our involvement in Israel.
Yeah, they want us to not support Israel, basically. Right?
Yeah, it's pro-Palestine. They're like blocking students from going to class and camping out on the grounds. I mean, the police were like, they're arresting people, as many as they could. They were like carrying people away, arresting them, and
wow.
But then when they leave, they're like, I saw a picture of the next morning after one of the protests at a university, after the students decided to leave, or the people. I think most of them probably aren't even students.
Yeah.
I think they're paid for by some really wealthy people,
Probably.
kind of like the BLM protests and Antifa and stuff. But it was just the grounds of this college where there was garbage and clothes and tents all over the place.
Wow.
And they just leave it for someone else to clean it up.
That's such bull crap.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just go, Jake, I'm glad I'm camping because I don't want to deal with the world.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting here talking about it, and I'm like, I
While
don't
we're
even want to
camping.
talk about it.
Yeah. That's all the news. Great.
Good.
Main topic.
What's our main topic?
We have here new shows we're talking about or watching.
Oh, yeah. I watched the first episode of Fallout. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you watch the whole season?
I watched the whole season. Yeah, season 1.
That's pretty cool.
I liked it. It was really well done. I like the music. It's like what 70? What is the era?
50s?
50s music.
Were we talking about this last episode?
I think we talked about Fallout a little bit.
Whoa. Where was I talking about? I was listening to another podcast. They were talking about, shout out to This Is Our Place podcast.
Oh yeah, I listened to that episode.
Yeah. They actually pointed out the fact that
It's filmed in Utah.
it was filmed in Wendover, Utah.
Yeah.
The funny thing is I was like, dang, I need to go back and watch that because I didn't notice at all that it was filmed in Utah.
Yeah, I mean, you see, it was when you only watched one episode, right?
Yeah, but the camp was at the Air
The
Force
air base. That was in episode 1?
Yeah.
Oh.
They said most of the Utah scenes were in episode 1. They said there was others as well, but most of the scenes episode 1. So I'll have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, it's a good show. I really like the armor bodysuit, the armor suits.
Oh, like the exoskeletons or whatever.
Yeah, they're just really cool looking.
Yeah. I haven't watched enough of it, and I didn't like sit and really watch it like I probably should have.
Yeah, and concept is it's based on the video games,
Which I've never heard of or really played. I mean, I have heard of them, I guess, but I didn't know what they were. So,
Is that a planet?
which one?
That one.
Let go. Is it colored?
It's twinkling, but it's stationary.
I don't know. When I have internet access, I have this app on my phone that like tells me what constellations are what.
The sky map?
Yeah, sky map, I think.
Yeah, that's a really cool. It's like every star, galaxy, satellite. It's cool.
I saw a satellite earlier too. I hope that gets picked up on the record.
Oh, that'll
recording.
definitely get picked up.
Okay.
So Fallout, you only watched one episode. You gonna watch more?
I don't even know if I finished the one I was watching. I was folding clothes and I put it on because I heard someone talking about it and I was like, oh, I'll check it out. But I really liked it, and so I was like, dang, I didn't pay enough attention to it. I should go back and watch it again.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thoughts right now with it.
It's cool. You'll like it more and more, and you understand more and more why some characters are in it.
Yeah.
Like the flashbacks that they have from the ghoul, the main guy. What's his bucket?
I don't even.
The guy with no nose, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty. I just barely found out about him, basically.
Yeah, I'll just say he's a very prominent character in the whole grand scheme of things. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, for some reason that character seems familiar.
The actor?
No, that character.
Oh.
Like a cowboy that's missing like a zombie cowboy, basically.
Uh-huh. I'll tell you this, you don't know it yet, but it's not a spoiler.
Uh-huh.
He was an actor in his human life.
Uh-huh.
Or when he was a normal human, I guess. And he played a Western cowboy.
Oh.
And so he's living out his
cowboy life?
Yeah, his celebrity theme in real life now.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear bats. You hear them
Uh-huh.
doing their sonar thing?
Yeah. I wonder if they can pick up lasers.
Nope.
Wow. So already so many stars. It's been like 5 minutes.
I know. I'll bet you when the sun's completely gone and it's pitch black, we will be able to see the Milky Way. But I don't know. Is there light pollution? What is all this? Or is the sun just not down
It's
all the
crazy
way?
how bright it seems outside right now.
Uh-huh.
The sky. But it's just on the horizon. I mean, that is west out there, so I'm sure there's still a little bit of sun.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm gonna take a picture of this place. More than one. I'm gonna share it with our people.
Yeah, I'll send pictures out on Instagram when this episode is released. Did you
Nice.
watch Resident Alien?
I watched a couple episodes of that. Pretty funny. I like it.
Yeah. I love Alan Tudyk.
He's the main actor.
The main actor, yeah. He's got a very, very good voice
Uh-huh.
for acting.
Yeah.
But his character is just so funny.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. They did a good job with the nerdiness, awkwardness of the alien.
Yeah.
And yeah, they did a good job. The funny thing is, I'm realizing right now, Jake, I'm like the worst person to talk to about movies because I'm like, yeah, it's great. I don't
no criticisms
really
of it.
I'm not hard to impress, and then beyond that, I'm like, I don't really know actors.
Yeah, I was entertained. It was
anything.
Good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
I guess I do form opinions about stuff, but like in general, I'm just like, yeah, I either liked it or no, I didn't really like it. But the Resident Alien, it was funny, and the reason I really like that one is because it's got jokes that I can just listen to. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I can just put it on while I'm doing something and watch it, quote unquote, but just whatever, it's pretty fun. So,
yeah.
and then, you know what I started watching with my kids? And they haven't asked to watch it lately, so maybe they got bored of it, but we started watching Lost.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's an old one.
I can't remember what it was on, Prime or Netflix. I don't know.
I think it's on Hulu.
Maybe it was Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Hulu actually. And man, they started getting into it pretty heavy. Like,
really?
They come home from school. Can we watch an episode? I'm like, yeah, let's do. And then for some reason we haven't watched one for like a week or so. But part of the reason I brought it up was because I was like, oh, do you want to see one of the reasons why we named you Penny? Because there's a character on it named Penny.
Oh yeah, I never watched the show, so.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's a good one, actually.
It was. Well, I know when it was on, it was like the show to watch.
Yeah, it still holds up. Like it does. They did well. I can say they ended terribly, but the show itself is it's good. And it's really funny watching it again. Like however many years after I watched it the first time. 2008 or something like that. 2005 or 6 when it came out. So yeah.
It's funny. It's cool to see your kids enjoy shows that you watched when you were younger.
Yeah, I know it's pretty fun, huh? Well, cool. I don't know if there's much else to talk about.
No, I mean it's almost distracting how
beautiful things are.
How awesome it is to be.
I know.
I wish it wasn't quite this windy.
Yeah, it's a little windy here. It's kind of like a tunnel. If you can probably hear it on the microphones.
Yeah, I've been trying to cover it when the wind comes through.
Yeah, but hiking up here, it was way windy.
Yeah,
but that was kind of nice because it kept us cool. Right. But yeah, it's pretty windy coming through here. So
yeah,
but I'm kind of glad Jake got these cool little microphones we can record out.
Yeah, they're little lapel clips,
and it's fun to do this stuff. And hopefully this is entertaining or was entertaining.
Yeah, we didn't record at our regular time, so we thought let's record on the hike.
While we're out of town.
Yeah.
So the message on this episode is have internet access, right?
Mm-hmm.
And get out into nature if you think your life is too overwhelming.
Oh yeah, it will fix a lot of problems that you may have.
It puts things,
Oh, it's gone
as
now.
Jake said,
That bright one.
in perspective. So
Gain some perspective.
that's right. Well, thanks for listening to this very special episode of American Forked Podcast. And we should be back to our regularly scheduled, what do you call it?
Program?
Yeah, our regularly scheduled program within the next few weeks.
True.
Okay, love you.
Bye.
Bye.